G'day everyone, just thought I'd talk to you about the latest Canon rumours that are coming out because it's starting to get really interesting. Initially when we had the early rumours, they were saying there was going to be two mirrorless Canon cameras announced, one high-end model and one lower-end model, but it appears like they're just going to release the lower-end model at this stage. Well, that's according to Canon rumours anyway. We're going to have a look at that in a minute, but it's quite interesting what they're saying over here. So let's switch over and have a look. They're saying we were wrong. All of your Canon mirrorless dreams are likely to be coming true soon. Basically, they were saying that it was going to be photo keener. So initially, I think they were saying the announcement was going to be photo keener, which begins late next month. And they even said they mentioned this again yesterday. But it looks like, according to the latest Canon rumours, that they're going to have an announcement on September the 5th. So we're only a week or so away from that, knowing what's actually going to be announced. And they're talking about the specifications here, and you could say that usually these specifications tend to be pretty close to what's announced. If you look at the recent Canon announcements, if you look at some of the Sony announcements, the rumours are pretty close to what's going to be in the camera. So they're saying here that we're going to have a 28 megapixel full frame sensor. It's going to have dual pixel autofocus, and dual pixel dual pixel autofocus is amazing. It really gives beautiful cinematic focus between, say, if you're trying to do focus pulling and things like that. It really does give a nice transition between your focal points. It's a really lovely focus method, basically, and it tends to really lock on and track very well. And that's one of the great things about the Canon dual focus. It really has had been leading the marketplace if you're dealing with tracking for video particularly. It's going to have IBIS in-body image stabilization. We don't know yet how many stops that's going to be. I would think it's probably going to be about the same as what everyone else is offering, around 5 stops. It's going to have 10 frames per second shooting, 4K 30 frames per second. That's a little bit disappointing that they haven't been able to get to 60, but I mean, they may put that out in a higher model later on. And it will do 1080p 60 though. But there's a good part there that it's priced competitively, so it's priced at $1,900. And it's basically saying that there'll be a high-end mirrorless later on. This isn't targeted at those high-end mirrorless though, so they're saying this is the entry-level model, and a high-end one will be coming out later on. So it's really interesting. So I think if you're looking at it overall, if you're looking at the cost particularly, it's priced very competitively against, say, the Nikons or particularly the Sony a7 III. So if this has similar functionality to the a7 III in focus, if it has a similar thing with the IBIS and also the video, and it's very similar if you're looking at that 4K 30p, it might be a very competitive camera in that market range. I do hope there's a couple of things that haven't been mentioned yet. I do hope this is going to have the dual cards, and I'm also hoping that they have the EF mount on this camera. Canon really could do something amazing by offering the EF mount. Yes, the body is going to have to be bigger to allow for that flange distance, but if they can produce a body that is similar to like what they're already using in the 60D or whatever they're using now, and have the EF mount on that, that could be a real difference between what Sony are offering and what also Nikon are offering. And that could be a great thing, and I am hoping they actually do that. If they do an adapter, it probably will work very well though. As you've seen, the adapters work very well with Canon lenses on the Sony gear, so there's no reason why the lenses can't work well on the Canon as well, particularly seeing they haven't had to reverse engineer that adapter. So things are looking really amazing at the mirrorless camera marketplace at the moment. It's very, very exciting. I can't wait to see what they have to offer, and I really hope that Canon really nail this and really push other manufacturers to do a great job as well, so we all basically do well with competition. So that's all for now, guys, and I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.